but welcome back. Yes. Still on this topic.
Jumoke's thoughts.
Yes, Jumoke's thoughts on this matter.
I'm just listening and I'm like, wow, is this what marriage really is
scary.
about?
No, it's
oh
not
my
scary.
God.
Come
It
on.
sounds scary. I'll tell
No,
you why
it's
it
not
sounds
that bad.
scary.
Let's hear Jumoke.
Now, the Bible says that two become one. So marriage is a good thing ordained by God. Now, you're saying to some women, be careful, oh, don't write your husband's name in the house that you build by yourself. But two have become one. Why are we segregating in property?
Don't go there.
Secondly, there are some sacrifices that just don't make any sense to me. Why can't I go out now because I'm a married woman? And then you say things like, be careful who you marry. Make sure that your dreams are in sync. You're a lawyer, he's a doctor. While you guys are dating, you've talked about what you want your family to be like. We want 2 children, so you don't have issues. But men change when you get into their home.
They always do.
So I'm thinking...
Okay, let me give you an example, my own personal example. Because we were talking about friends earlier. When I got married, there was a friend that I'm really close to. I like this person so much. But my husband had issues, not because she's a bad person, but there's just something about that person that just rubbed him off the wrong way. And it was just like, wait, this person, Mariah, just distance yourself. It was a very difficult decision for me because it was hard. I kept insisting that no way, But for the sake of peace, I gave some kind of distance. But even though I was still keeping tabs on what this person was doing, it was very, very painful. But honestly, somehow, because I didn't fight it, because I didn't insist on it, he also had a rethink. Eventually, it's been a while, but now recently, he's actually allowing me to be friends again with this person because he realized that I'm not fighting it. So if you go with that, no, my friend,
that's the submission
part.
That is why he's your Lord. It's not for you to go and lie down and be worshiping him.
The Lord won't. Me, I'm not going to leave. I'm not part of the Lord.
Sorry, Nima. You need to learn to draw the line between submission and slavery.
And
Or like
Lord-
Nima
and Lordship.
said, I know I'm not married. I know I'm not
I
married.
think I have a
but
call.
I still know what I want in my marriage. I know.
These single people don't allow me to
I
talk.
know.
We all
I know what I would
know. We all know
settle
what
for
we want
and
in
what I
marriage.
won't.
Okay, all right. Let's take this call. Good morning. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I want to be single.
Yeah.
You'll be single
I reject-
forever
I
in
just-
Jesus' name.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to underline the very enlightening perspective brought by the lawyer, Nima.
Nima.
The Islamic perspective, It reminds me, for in this country for many years now, the feminist movement. There has been this critique of them that there's a lot of ignorance about the rights of women, in Islam. That indeed, compare with the so-called liberated Western women, that in Islam there are greater rights, for women, And I quite enjoyed the way I think I was really, shed the light on that.
So you agree with what she's saying?
And I think, we should really underline that.
Fantastic.
Would
Thank you
you
very much.
apply it in your marriage, Kayode?
Don't mind.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
All right, Kayode. Thank you very
because
much.
You see, yes. Why I would do so? That is this female. This feminist, Robert Ama, gave a metaphor. That if you go into the Bible said, the Bible says rather that in the creation of the woman, that the good Lord Himself, went for the rib. That is by the size.
Okay.
That
We have to move on.
He had the chance. God had the chance of going for the cranium, for the brain. In which case, it would mean that the woman should be on top of the woman. God also had the chance of going for the bone, of the foot. In which case, it will mean that the woman will be step upon.
Yes.
But
Okay.
God
Took from the rib.
showed
The rib.
height.
Okay. So that's the Adam and Eve
So she's
story.
supposed to be beside him.
Side it, yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Can I
Karen.
take tweets?
Let's see some tweets, please.
Prince Tyre says, I left my first job based on my wife's advice. Adedayo Abayomi says, there is nothing bad in a lady retaining her maiden name, but it must be the agreement between husband and wife. Rahim says, you people tend to vilify the women. There's nothing wrong with the woman keeping her maiden name. Tade says, friend that left Abuja to Lagos to get closer to the family on wife's request. Now, the wife gets a dream job in Ibadan and can't go. Danny says, I won't change no diapers, but I could take other household chores. Thanks, Otumba Martins, for your view.
Thank you, Danny. At least you will do other household chores. You don't leave it for the woman alone.
Will you
It's
cook
synergy.
Yemi says women are too emotional to be reasonable. I think that when women fall in love, we become so emotional that we don't take into perspective what will my home look like when I marry this man. Just because I want to marry or I love him, he's rich enough, we forget all the things that are really important. Then when you become a slave in your marriage, you have no one else to blame.
Okay, let me take Lakers call. Good morning.
Good
Good
point.
morning, ladies. How are you?
Very well.
Personally, with my wife, I have to do a lot because my love language is physical. And I realize that my wife needs to be not tired. And in order not to be not tired, I have to help in the house. 50-50 type thing works.
I love that.
Moving right away from that, I need to speak to Uma. Where is my scrubbing lotion? I'm sure you know who's speaking. It's my Clinique scrubbing lotion and my face scrub. You
Okay.
never got back
It's
to
on
me.
the way.
Have a good day.
All right. Thanks very much,
See,
Lakers.
I want to say something. There's something very important Moriah said, and we need to hold on to that. It is not stupidity. It is wisdom and submission. Now, she knew in her heart that it was difficult to let go of her friend, but yet, for the sake of respect and love for her husband, and the fact that she wants to keep her marriage, she did it. And now, today, he's coming around. That is what see, a lot of women, hold on, Jumoke. A lot of women are so stubborn and so absorbed to say, this one, no, if you don't agree,
fight
me,
it.
I must fight it.
Yes.
That is where the problem starts from. Hold on,
Let me hear
that
you.
is where the problem starts from, Jumoke.
All
Hold on. You need to, first of all, submit first. Then you can now reason later with your husband.
Point taken,
Uwa.
Jumoke.
Now, Mariah's husband, if he asks us to stop working, she'll stop working. He doesn't help with chores in the house. She has taken it like that. Don't be friends with this person. She has taken it like that. Everything that he says, she takes with respect. And so one day, she's going to become very, resentful in her mind. Because she's submitting to make the marriage work. She doesn't have a say in her marriage because she wants to submit to make the marriage work.
I'm not on trial.
One day she becomes resentful. This is what I'm saying. Make sure that the person that you marry, first and foremost, is in line with what you want. Secondly, when you marry, do not become a slave in the name of becoming submissive. Submission is not slavery, like Nima said. So when your husband is saying some things that is totally out of line, especially if you have agreed on that issue before you got married to him, have a discussion. Don't say because of peace, because of peace, because of peace. The man is beating you. You say because of peace, you're submitting to him.
All right.
What is that?
Now, wait, calm down.
That's all I'm saying.
Uwa, you guys
That's
just say,
all
let me
I'm
say
saying.
Now, Nima, go ahead.
I want to
See,
say,
I want to agree with Uwa to some extent. It is wisdom in
Hey,
marriage.
Jehovah.
It is wisdom. What Jumoke is saying is totally my school of thought, but it is with wisdom that you achieve it.
Thank you.
Now, as a woman, your family, even your own immediate family that you're from, expect you to submit to your husband. They don't want to hear at home that you are raising your voice at your husband or you are being rude. They want you to be a good, proper girl to carry on their name. That's one. So you use wisdom. When you have disagreements, you know when to keep quiet.
Okay, all right.
Well,
So
when
wait,
your husband is
after
calm.
I because she said she made some confessions. I must negate it in Jesus. I will not go on resenting in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I will not have.
Amen.
All right.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Mariah.
People should not let me lose my thought. You see, every man has an ego. Every man, there is a king inside of that man and there's a beast inside of that man. And if you as a woman, I am a very stubborn person and my husband knows that. But if I can say, okay, I get off that stubbornness and if he says something, I calm down and I listen. Then I'm able to speak to the king inside of him. Tomorrow, he will treat me like a queen, which I am.
Yes, that's
so,
wisdom.
Okay, it's not whether you now become resentful, you now become this. No. First of all, you must recognize that he is your head first. Then you can now later, when you have obeyed him, you can now go back and sit down and say, okay, yes.
Let me take my
this
last
is
call.
My point.
My last call. Okay, Chiku. Good morning, okay, Chiku. Are you there? Many men are calling us this morning, surprisingly. Okay, Chiku.
You are doing well, but I humbly hope that you are not bringing back about 1929. All the same, the Bible says the two shall become one. It means both should die to self. When you don't die to self, you can hardly submit one to another or love one another. So it is very, very important. Whether you're dropping your father's name, whether you're making sacrifices, it's a thing of both. For instance, my wife decided to choose my name, not even my family name, and that's what she bears. That's a sacrifice.
bringing up the children, taking them to school, doing all the things, there are things we do together. We cook. It is a thing of love, appreciating whom you have married.
I think with this Chuku, I think we can rest the show because it made perfect sense that mutual submission to each other, mutual love, and both of us have working together. That's the best bet. All right. On that note,
That's superior argument.
well, we have to. This conversation cannot end
It
here.
has to continue.
We're going to go to Radio Continental to complete this conversation. Hopefully, either Debola on radio is going to continue this conversation or we'll push it to next week Thursday. But definitely we can't stop here. But thank you very much for watching. You can watch the repeat broadcast at 11:30 p.m. tonight. And you can also watch previous episodes on YouTube by going to tvcontinental.tv. Look for Your View there and you can watch previous episodes. Global statistics say that 3,000 people die daily from road traffic accidents. Please wear